Morning, welcome to business. My name is Darryl Kwao. The Bank of Ghana has dropped the rate at which it lends to commercial banks by a significant and record margin. It came down by 150 basis points to 14.5%. The move is expected to lessen the impact of coronavirus on the economy. There's more in the following report.
The Monetary Policy Committee, in a statement issued a while ago, noted that a cut was because adjusting the rate would not pose any significant challenge to the outlook of inflation and possibly economic growth. The Bank of Ghana also projected that GDP growth could decline by some 5% in a baseline scenario, or in worst-case scenario, half by about 2.5%. As part of efforts to improve liquidity in the banking space, the Bank of Ghana has rolled out a series of measures. These include reducing the primary reserve requirement for banks from 10% to 8%. This is expected to improve liquidity for banks so that they can lend to critical sectors of the economy, especially to small-sized enterprises. Also, the 3% capital conservation buffer, CCB, for banks has been slashed to 1.5%. This action is to enable banks to provide the needed financial support to the economy. This effectively reduces the capital adequacy requirement from 13% to 11.5%. The capital conservation buffer for banks of 3% is also being reduced to 1.5%. This is to enable banks to provide the needed financial support to the economy. This effectively reduces the capital adequacy requirement from 13% to 11.5%. Provisioning for loans in the other loans especially mentioned OLEM category is reduced from 10% to 5% for all banks and specialized deposit-taking institutions, SDIs. As a policy response to loans that may experience difficulty in repayment due to the slowdown in economic activity. Also, provisioning norms for loans in all other categories are maintained. This should provide capital relief to banks and SDIs in these uncertain times. Loan repayments that are due for microfinance institutions for up to 30 days shall be considered as current as in the case for all SDIs. The Bank of Ghana has also agreed with banks and mobile network operators on measures to facilitate more efficient payments and promote digital forms of payment for the next 3 months. This also includes waiving charges on some cash transactions by up to 100 Ghana cedis. All mobile phone subscribers are now permitted to use their already existing mobile phone registration details to be on board for minimum KYC accounts. It has also reviewed the daily limit on transactions depending on the amounts that you have. According to the Bank of Ghana, it is closely monitoring development as regards the impact of the coronavirus on the domestic economy and will not hesitate to convene an emergency meeting to deliberate on other measures if required.
And that's your business update. Sports is up next.